All right, it's my off day, so I'm getting all three of these out in one day. Um, I just spent like 30 minutes playing chess, so I guess I feel a little bit better. I'm not really sure. I might feel just as tired. Either way, this is part three of the top 100 games of all time for me, and now I'm going to get into my top 10. I really didn't have it structured out like this. I actually thought that I would be able to bang out everything in an hour and a half. Um, it's going to be very, disorganized. It's not really going to be as like nice as how other people would put it with videos and all that shit. I hope one day I can have something cool like that. That would be really dope. Um, Maybe even to go more in depth on a lot of the games that I have here. I think really this was just more so for me to just like put a big video out there. And if anybody's ever interested in playing any of these video games, most of the games are going to be on the lists on the videos themselves. So really, if you ever just want to play any of those games, just go right for them. That's really kind of what I'm going to recommend because I know that watching something this long is going to be like, whoa. And especially in this day and age, nobody really watches long-term form content like this. Really just kind of doing it for the fuck of it, and I kind of love it. So I am now going to get into it. So number 10 is going to be Fable 2. Now this one is another one where I think like could be a top 3, top 5 game. I played it a couple of years ago, years and years after it came out. I think it was right before Fable 3 came out, which I will say, and I want to give Fable 3 its flowers before I go into Fable 2. Fable 3 is a fantastic game. It is. It's not at the level that Fable 2 was, but it's still a really great game by a studio that did well by that. The Fable game afterwards was a disaster, and I forgot they were putting out a Fable game, and I don't know what the fuck happened to that. Maybe it came out already. I have no idea. I don't keep up with a lot of video game news now. So I hope it didn't, because I would have hoped to have heard of it. I hope that if it hasn't come out yet, it's going to be a great game. Fable 2 was the beginning sort of entryway for me into the series. I ended up playing Fable 1 years later and I loved it. Not as much as 2, but still, it's fantastic. I played through Fable 2 twice. I wanted to go through the good and the bad. Usually that's how I played a lot of these games, and you'll see a couple more that I'm going to talk about soon where I did the same thing. And wow, where do I even begin? It's one of those games that like it's a masterpiece. It's every aspect of it is perfect. The gameplay is so fun. The progression is amazing. I love the story. I absolutely love the story. It's such a great story. I think the graphics are pretty good for its time, and yeah, it's an ambitious game, and it really pulls through. It's rare where you see like an ambitious game like Destiny or I was gonna say Atlas, but I can't remember what that other game is called. Either way, a lot of ambitious games that try to go for this really big, expansive story. Maybe they do a well enough job. Like Destiny did a fine job, but Fable 2 just delivers. It just delivers on that end. And if you love story-based games, if you love kind of progression type style games, this is the game to play. I don't. I think out of any game, maybe there's one more here. I guess maybe two more, but I'd say in terms of the progression with your character, it's the most fun, it's the most engaging. Really, there's nothing like Fable. There's a lot of games that have tried to be like Fable, even like Kingdoms of Amalur, and I think that's why I really liked it. But it doesn't reach that level for me. And Fable 2, yeah, it's just phenomenal. Anybody that I've talked to about this game, they are like, "Oh yeah, I love that game. One of the best games of all time." So easily one of the greatest, and deserves to be on the top 10. I would probably put it higher, but these other games I think are just a little bit more uh, worth more talking about. Now this next one is part of a large and annoyingly continuing franchise, and probably that should just be enough to tell you which one I'm going to talk about, and it's Modern Warfare 2. Specifically Modern Warfare 2 from the Xbox 360, because I know that they released a Warfare 2 or whatever. I think they called it the same shit years later. No, I'm talking about the classic. So this game is one that, as the years have gone on, I didn't want to lose the the love that I had for it because all these Call of Duty games I feel like are just completely trashing the fucking franchise. I don't I get that people play Warzone, I get that they love that shit. I think it's fine. I've never been a big fan of it. I've had fun. And I get how it's fun, but it doesn't hold a candle to the multiplayer that I used to play and that I loved and the well balanced like nature of all that. Uh, yeah, and the story is so great. I think it's a really solid story. I don't even know if I would say it's like one of the most amazing stories. It's a great story. It has a really great campaign, really great difficulty sort of, you know, sort of toggle for how you choose to play it on the hardest difficulty or not. It's really great. You know, obviously the fucking the the opposition, they'll basically just fucking shoot you the second they see you, and that's kind of how they, you know, they upped up the difficulty per level. Kind of stumbling on my words here. Either way, I really love this game. I When I was in high school, I played it with my friends. Modern Warfare 1 had come out, I think just a year or two before. I think 2 years before, and it was great. We all loved it. We were playing the fuck out of it. Modern Warfare 2 was a whole other dog, man. The spec ops that they added on that, I fucking 100%ed that game. I got every achievement. I prestiged multiple times. Dude, I did everything. I loved that game. I don't even know if I would say I was amazing at the game, but I was definitely pretty good. It's just that sometimes you see some of these other sweats, and it's like, oh yeah, like how the fuck do I even compare to somebody that could fucking like no scope 360 somebody from like a fucking building off of a fucking like 3,000 feet away. Like it's just that insane with some of these players that are that good. Even some of my friends were really good, and I never got to those levels. I don't think I ever really cared to. I just really loved playing Call of Duty at the time. Uh, yeah, and I think just honorable mentions when it comes to Call of Duty. I think Black Ops 1 definitely deserves to be up there. Even the original Modern Warfare. 3 was okay. It was an okay way to close out the series. I did actually end up playing the third one before I played Modern Warfare, so I kind of knew a little bit about Call of Duty before it got really popular, and I liked it. I liked the story. I liked how it would kind of cover the world wars from the past, and it was cool. I think Modern Warfare was the right direction to take it. It was ingenious, honestly, and yeah, that game's impact has been felt. It'll always be felt. That is easily, probably out of everything I've talked about so far, maybe that and Minecraft. Those are the most influential games of all time. Yeah, and Fortnite, I guess. Maybe we'll see where Fortnite goes. I guess I should also mention Roblox. I mean, I'm not a big Roblox fan, but I guess an honorable mention in my top 10. But it's a game. You know, I played it with the kids that I used to work with. It's fine, whatever. Uh, yeah, but I just don't like where Call of Duty has gone in the past couple of years. I get that some people still really love it, and even people from my generation, but I just don't. I feel like it's just like a year after year. It's like, oh, it's like the new Madden. Like you just complain so much about it, but nothing really changes. Like you're still gonna play it and buy it and waste all your money, waste your time, waste your life playing that shit. I don't really see the substance in it anymore. It used to have substance when it talked about the psychological effects of the characters. That's why I love Black Ops 1 so much. I love the creativity of the zombie maps back then that is just severely left out now. Where I played one of the newer ones and it was fun. It was fun. Like that's never been taken away. The fun component has always been part of Call of Duty, but I feel like it just focuses too much on that and it's lost a lot of substance. Maybe because it has really nothing to say anymore. They're just gonna keep printing out the same thing until people don't buy it, and it's up to the mass audiences if they're okay with that continuing on. That's all I have to say about Call of Duty. Thank God, it's the only time that I've ever had to talk about it. Now this one I have a special story with. So this game, I went to my local GameStop and I saw the cover, and it was this dude. He was like behind this fucking space. It looked like a fucking space opera on a cover. I was like, damn, this looks cool as fuck. And you know, my mom said that I could buy a game, so I was like, okay, let me try this random game. Didn't know what the fuck it was about. Had no idea what the fuck it was about. Never played a game like this. It was basically like kind of like a little bit of an open world, kind of your choose your own adventure type of thing. And it ended up being one of the greatest purchases I've ever made in terms of video games, and I'm talking about Mass Effect. I'm going to talk specifically about Mass Effect 2, but I do want to, like, I'm going to give it to Mass Effect 2, but I do want to talk about the series in general. So, yeah, I played and beat Mass Effect 1, played it multiple times, absolutely loved it. It was a difficult game for me at the time because I was a kid and I'd never played anything like that before. I think the closest thing that I played to it was KOTOR, and which is kind of interesting. I think that's why I didn't realize at the time that I had played something similar, and I think that's why I gelled so much with it. But yeah, it was basically KOTOR for the newer generation. And I just have to say, like, it just was phenomenal. Like, I mean, the story for the first one was good. It was really good. The gameplay was fine. It wasn't really that great. I even remember visiting it years later, and I was like, God, this gameplay is like not terrible, but it's definitely a lot to be desired. And so, I loved it. I put my friends onto it. One of them loved it, and he went to go on to absolutely be a huge fan of the game. And then years later, two came out, and man, I have to say, dude, I did everything in that game. I did everything in that game. I completely beat it. Shepard, for me, already at that point was solidified as one of the greatest protagonists because I felt like he wasn't, you could choose what background he had. So it's not like he was really delving that much information out. It would just sometimes come out here and there. I just loved the way that the crew gelled with one another. It kind of just felt like I was playing like I was on the Millennium Falcon and I was like with a group of fucking, rebels, and we're just all trying to figure out like what to do. It's just so cool, man. It's just so cool. I really felt like that was a love letter not only to Star Wars but to space operas and to just space adventures in general. And two, like I said, I did everything. I got all the endings. I got the ultimate ending of saving everybody, and that was the most accomplished feeling I've ever had in my life in terms of a video game. That and maybe some Dark Soul bosses that I beat. But yeah, it's just a special game, man. It's definitely the best of the three. The third one is really, really good. I think that at the time I was a little bit confused by the ending, and that was a big controversy at the time. I replayed it with the newer ending, and I think it's still a fantastic game. It's so much fun. Oh man, it's terribly fun. It's so terribly fun. I still have all these worlds in my head and the exploration. The only thing that I didn't like was that the third one took away the in-planet exploration. I was so disappointed by that because I think the first one had it, and then the second one I can't remember if it had it, but it didn't focus on it as much. But I missed that. I know that it was a little bit like unnecessary to add, but I don't know. It was nice. It made the game feel a lot richer, and there was certain missions and moments that you would go through. I'm telling you, I did everything in the entire series. I completely fucking butchered that game. There's nothing that I don't know about it. And then I ended up replaying the remastered, and that was just so much fun. Oh man, it was phenomenal. That's the only time where I absolutely agree with these remasters being a thing is that I think it's really cool to be able to play them on the new the new consoles, the new consoles. Uh, but yeah, it's one of those special games in my heart for sure. Okay, number seven goes to The Last of Us, and it was really hard for me to choose one or two. And I know for some people it's like one, it's clearly one. For other people, it's obviously two. So I'm going to tell you guys a little story. So maybe not a lot of people remember this. You have to kind of be there. Last of Us 2, and I'm going to start with Last of Us 2. It was spoiled that Joel was going to die. Some leak happened, people put it up on the internet. And of course, like it was a devastating way to find that out. I was pretty disappointed, but I was like, okay, like let's just see how it goes and like whatever. Like it makes sense. If he dies in this game, it's like okay, kind of makes sense from the actions that he fucking did at the end of the first game. He absolutely deserved it. So I ended up watching YouTubers play it, and I saw that he dies in the beginning, and I was devastated. I was super severely disappointed. I thought that the way that they did it was so rushed, without enough context, without enough of a way to sort of say goodbye. And I think in at the time the narrative was like, oh, they're just trying to be like edgy for edgy's sake. And I really bought into that because then there was other narratives like, oh, they have this like bulky woman, they're just trying to make like LGBTQ things. It was stupid. I didn't believe that into much of that, but I felt that they were trying to play into this narrative like this, like let's be as edgy as we possibly can because we don't really give a fuck about this character. And it really just deeply disappointed me. I didn't play the game. I didn't play the game, mind you. I played the first one and I loved it. I fucking loved it. I don't really think I have to say much about the first one. It kind of speaks for itself. The second one is a huge story because it really has a lot of twists and turns. So years go by. The PS5 is already out and everything, and it's crazy. I played the second one maybe 2 months before the announcement of the remaster, so I was like, fuck, I could have fucking played it on the new one. I just pick it up. It's for sale on GameStop. It's like $15. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just fucking finally play this game. People still revere it. It won Game of the Year. Like, let me finally give it a shot. You know, I'm playing through it. I'm not as deeply affected by the death of Joel. Obviously, it's been years. And what I ended up finding was a game that talked about the layers of loss and what it can become like if you choose to follow the same repetition and the repetitive path that people have put before you, you know? Either when it's done onto you, like Joel kills, I forget her name, but this girl's family, and then she basically, you know, looks to kill him, you know, and she does, and she enacts that aggression, that you know, she enacts the repetition. Just more death leads to more death. And I love that Ellie in the end doesn't choose to continue that. She chooses to break the cycle because she was so overtaken by it most of her life, even to the point where she has a family and she's still willing to lose that family just to go on this death-defying adventure to go and repeat the cycle. I love that she breaks it. I love Ellie's progression in this game. I didn't imagine that she could carry the game because Joel is just so enigmatic in the first one. He's enigmatic, he's lovely, I think for a lot of gamers, anybody with daddy issues, he's your dad. He's your dad. You get to play your dad, but you also get to feel the love that he has for Ellie. You get to feel the loss that he has for his daughter when she dies. There's just so much feelings attached to this character that to rip him away is traumatizing, honestly, especially for anybody that loves video games. Like, and you idolize some of these characters, you're gonna feel that. You're gonna feel his death in ways that is like way more impactful than a lot of other character deaths in the history of video games. So I played it and I was like, wow. I deeply regretted that I didn't play the game. You know, certain things that I could say about it, like the gameplay is phenomenal. It sort of perfectly encapsulates what like they were consistently trying to go with at the time with the gameplay. Um, you know, so it did that extremely well, but you know, perfectly. But it's the story, man. It really gets you to care about a character that you shouldn't give a fuck about. It gets you to be traumatized, just like actual death. It has so much characterization and love put into the progression of the campaign. It's perfect. It's really a perfect game, and I regretted so much not trying it. If you haven't tried it, I'm telling you, like, let go of that shit, let go of the narrative. Just play the game. Play the game, and you'll love the game. It absolutely deserved Game of the Year, and it's one of the greatest games of all time. It's even kind of a shock that it's like this low in a sense, but it's like it just really shows it's a testament to just how phenomenal the game is. Um, One of the greatest stories. I actually think, yeah, I would honestly claim that the Last of Us story is the greatest story ever told in video game history. Yeah, there's no better one. Some of these are great, but none of them hold a candle. And I don't know if they're going to make Last of Us 3. I don't think they need to. If they want to, I think it's perfectly fine. But yeah, One of a kind. I would absolutely recommend it. Number six is going to be Skyrim. So Skyrim, I had never played any of the Elder Scroll games. I wasn't really into games like that, like I guess like medieval or I don't know. I don't know. It's just I guess it just wasn't on my radar for whatever reason. I recently played Oblivion and I love it. I'm gonna beat it soon, so I'm really happy about that. Um, but yeah, Skyrim. Man, what is there to say? I feel like there's really nothing that I can say because almost damn near the entire planet's played this fucking game. I just will say that for me, I did everything. I completed everything. I beat the game multiple times. I got every achievement. I've played it on multiple consoles. I was always a stealth fucking character. Um, yeah, I cannot wait for the next Elder Scrolls. I'm gonna play the fuck out of that one for sure. Yeah, I really have nothing else to say. Another similar game made by the same company, probably pretty already obvious of what I'm gonna talk about. This one's a little bit of a toss-up. So oh man, I don't know. This is still a toss-up for me even now. I guess I'll just give it to both of them. I think Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas for sure deserve top five. And I know to say that it's above Skyrim is crazy. I know people would not consider Fallout 3 to even be in their top 100. And I know not a lot of people played New Vegas. If you haven't played New Vegas, play New Vegas. It's amazing. Now, granted, is the story like the most amazing story? No. But it's a great, serviceable story. And obviously, there's a lot of branching paths, and it's an incredibly intriguing story. I can't really say to what it's done for the public because I think it's also one of the best selling games. It's up there with some of the greats. I think that all speaks for itself. My personal experience with it is that I just was addicted. I played Fallout 3 so much, dude. Like, I played the living fuck out of Fallout 3. I got every achievement, played the DLCs, played the fuck out of those, played the fuck out of the story. Fallout New Vegas came out. I probably put twice the amount of hours from 3 into that one. And just because I used to literally have fun just doing random bullshit, like going into the hotel, killing everybody stealthily, or like going through the story as in one way or another. And it just, I used to do that every day of high school. Like just come back home, play that fucking game, and just be chilling. Um, I'm gonna just give it to 3 because, like, as the placement holder, because I think it's what started everything for me in terms of the open world and what led me to even be open to a game like Skyrim and open to so many other games that are in the similar vein as this, like Fable 2. Because this was the first real open world as expansive of a game as it was that I like absolutely fell in love with. And it's just one of the most intriguing stories of all time. I mean, they come out with a fucking show, and it's fantastic. Not only because of the setting, but because of the effort and the love that they're putting for it, you know? I actually didn't even get to mention The Last of Us TV show. Season 1 was fantastic, followed the beat by beat, and season 2 was fucking terrible. I don't know if I'm gonna keep watching it. There were some episodes that were amazing, but wow, Ellie cannot carry that story at all. I felt that they should have went with a different actress as an older Ellie because she just doesn't look older and she still looks petite. And it's just, I don't know. The thing about, and I hate to go back to The Last of Us, I wanted to put it to rest, but I just want to say that when it comes to Ellie in the game, you could feel her strength. You could feel her being a stronger woman, even just a stronger person. Uh, in the show, it's just like, bro, this girl doesn't look like she could take on the Asian guy, bro. Like that's not gonna fucking happen. It's just not. She'll get fucking body slammed and destroyed. I don't know. I didn't like her in that season, and that sucks because I think that she could be a good actor, but she's dropping the ball. I think the writing is also really diminished. Either way, I'm fucking done with The Last of Us. So number 4 is gonna be Dark Souls. So this is also gonna take a while to talk about. The Dark Souls series for me, it started with 1. And I remember playing it and I was fucking terrible. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't know where the fuck I was going. I kept dying. But something just kept me entranced. Like, I'm telling you, that fucking game has a spell or something, because like you just want to keep playing it and keep playing it. And yeah, that's what I kept doing. I just kept playing it until I got pretty decent. Got to the fucking guy with the stone armor, got to fuck him up. I think because I got him to drop off from the top to the bottom or something like that. And I got his armor. Or do you get his armor? Can't remember if you get his armor there or if you get his weapon. Either way, I did the fucking glitch where you could kill the dragon with bow and arrows and you get his fucking sword. And that sword fucking carries like pretty hard. Um, I have so many memories of that game. I just fucking loved it. And it's funnily enough, I struggled with no bosses. None of the bosses I struggled with. Literally not. Not even the twins. Not even the boys. Didn't struggle with them. I don't know how. The only two bosses that I struggled with, okay, were Sif, the fucking wolf motherfucker. I remember dying to him like so many fucking times. I can't even remember and I can't even count it. Don't know why. He's not even that complicated. I played him years later. I'm like, the fuck was up with me? And Gwyn. Gwyn is another one that is like, how the fuck do you struggle against this guy but you don't struggle against the other motherfuckers? I don't know. I was going with a blocking build and I think it just didn't really. It's not good to have to tank consistently his hits and barely do any damage to him. So I cannot tell you how satisfied I was when I killed Gwyn. It was the. It took me hours. I remember I was like borderline like in tears and like I was going insane. I was like, oh my god, I can't fucking kill this guy. I can't fucking kill him. And eventually I did, and I was fucking on top of the world. It's one of those feelings that you'll only get from playing a Souls-like game, and one for me captures that. I would say that one I have the most attachment for, and I also think it's the most influential one of the three. What I will say is that Dark Souls 2 is fantastic. A lot of people underrate it, and I get that it's janky in certain ways and it's a little goofy. It's still fantastic. It's a fantastic entry. It's a fantastic game. It only expands on what one gave, and it also brought so many quality of life changes that were fucking like the best, and ones that have stayed within the series. And it wouldn't have been without this different studio taking on the second one that would have ever been the case. But three, oh man, three is perfection. Three, like it really kind of intermingles between one and three for me as like the best. I think three captures everything. Like it perfects everything. Fantastic story, fantastic gameplay, fantastic graphics, everything fantastic. The bosses, oh my god. The DLC, fucking shit. The DLC, oh, it's the best DLC. It's top tier DLC. I don't even know. Probably I know people argue that Bloodborne had better DLC. I haven't, like I said earlier, I haven't played Bloodborne to that degree, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, Dark Souls 3, man. Oh, I can make a whole video on the Soul series, but I'm gonna leave it there because I think those three games need to be honored amongst the top five games of all time for sure. This is the best third game of all time, and it's interesting that it's in the number three slot. I was kind of debating between putting this one at number two, but I think number two is too iconic in my mind now to not leave it there. Yeah, it really is. So number three goes to Halo 3. I I don't even know if I have too much to say. I know that like my personal connection with Halo stems back from Halo 1. I remember going to my friend's house. He had an Xbox and it was his birthday and we were all playing, the Master Chief. Oh, the first one had a different name, Combat Evolved. We were playing Combat Evolved and we were all looking at the TV like, yo, what is this game? It's so weird. And I played it for a little bit and I thought it was cool. Never actually got too into Halo 1, but I played it a couple times and I liked it. Halo 2 though, oh, Halo 2. I think Halo 2 would be perfection if it would be like the number one for me if that ending, if the campaign was longer and it had more of a cohesive ending. Because they kind of do end it abruptly, but the multiplayer, oh my god. I don't even need to say anything else. Halo 3 though, Man, it's my favorite multiplayer game of all time. I loved the multiplayer. Like, dude, I loved it. I got all the way through the ranks, got the Hayabusa armor, beat the game on Legendary with the group, solo, fucking multiple times throughout the years. I love that story. It's fucking fantastic. It's a little bit of a goofy ending, I guess having to drive through these broken pieces. It is goofy, but I mean, that music that plays while you're in that Warhog, and dude, I remember playing with my friends and seeing them die here and there, and especially when we were playing in Legendary, we'd be laughing so hard. There was this one memory that I have where my friends and I, we played it years later on the Master Chief Collection, and we were playing with our friend that had never played the Halo 3 campaign, and we were like, dude, you have to play it. What the fuck? Like, how have you never played this? We go through the entire campaign on Legendary in one fucking day. I think we took like 5 or 6 hours, dude. It's like 2 or 3 in the morning, and we get to the last level. And this is an infamous part. Like, I think most people that have played this and you fuck around with your friends, they give you rocket launchers. They knew what the fuck they were doing. They knew that if they give you fucking rocket launchers, you're gonna blow each other the fuck up. Okay, absolutely. Like, if I was making the game, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is the part where everything goes to fucking hell. And we were blowing him up for like 10 minutes straight. He just got tired of it. He was like, I can't believe I stayed up till 2 in the morning, and he got the fuck off. And my friend and I were dying. It was one of the funniest moments of my life, and one that I'll always hold dear to my heart. We ended up finishing the campaign without him, but he ended up playing it on his own and finishing it. Um, yeah, I just I haven't even talked about Forge. I love Halo 3 Forge. I haven't even talked about Halo Reach and all the other Halo games. Halo Reach is perfection. I think even Halo Reach deserves to be on a top 10 list just on its own. It's phenomenal. It's a love letter. It's a send off. It's fucking perfection. That game is amazing, dude. Top down, one of the best multiplayers of its time. Forge mode was expanded. I felt like a lot was lost with the jankiness of the third one, that I didn't like it as much. It's pretty clear that I love jank. I kind of grew up in the generation of jank, so we loved taking advantage of it. You don't have it as much now. It's really just like the game is completely broken, or the jank isn't really that intriguing. But yeah, just I always have a smile when I talk about Halo 3 and the Halo series. The Halos afterwards, I don't even really want to talk about them. Uh, I mean, I'll just say that Halo 4 is good. Halo 5 I didn't like. Halo 6 is good. They're good games. I wouldn't keep them. I wouldn't put them in the top 100, but they're good games. It'll be interesting to see where they go with the franchise. Pretty devastating for me though personally that the multiplayer never hit the same way. I played a lot of the fourth multiplayer. It was fun. It just wasn't the same. It wasn't the same, and I think that's just because of nostalgia probably. I think a lot of people enjoyed Halo multiplayer, but they did say that the sixth one wasn't that good, and I played some of the sixth multiplayer, and it was fine. I don't know. Again, just none of them hit the same way. All right, we're getting to the final two, and I might be able to fucking do this before an hour. So this is part of a game series that I recently played. 2 years ago, right before I started my doctorate program, I wanted to get into the Silent Hill series, right? Heard about it for so long. I love horror. And I'm like, how the fuck did I never get into this? Because as a kid, I heard about it and I was like, oh, I'm not playing this shit. It's too scary. So I started with Silent Hill 1 on the PS1. And it's actually the game that's going to be on this list. There's a lot of Silent Hill games that I'm going to mention that I think absolutely deserve to be talked about and deserve to even be on a top 100, even in the top 10. But I'm going to just specifically talk about Silent Hill 1 for now. It is the scariest game I've ever played. It's like for some reason its outdated graphics add so much dimension to how scary the game is. The sounds, the game design, the progression, the story, the bosses, the underlining meanings, the puzzles. I don't even know what else to say. Like those are all iconic, and I literally just played this game like 2 years ago, and for me, it's like it outclasses everything that I've played before. Um, it's seriously the scariest game I've ever played. Like I was genuinely in fear, and I used to fucking play in the dark in my living room. I had a chair like right in front of my TV. I had it plugged into like one of those like they have this thing where it's like a little box. You plug in the yellow, white, and red uh, cables. I guess I'll just call it cables, and it basically transmits it into an HDMI. So you could play it on the newer TVs, and I'm so glad I did because wow, phenomenal. It might be personally my favorite game of all time. I mean, I think number one probably is my favorite game of all time. It's also my number one for a reason, but um, it could contend for it. I really loved it. And it's kind of shocking, I know, to say the first one, because I know a lot of people would consider like the second one, maybe even the third one, maybe even the remake that came out later of the first one, even the one that came out for the 360, because I was talking about the Wii. That one I'm going to get into. Uh, and all these other titles that they've come out with that are fantastic. I know people would consider 2 to be the best. So let me talk about 2. So 2 is phenomenal. It's a top 10 game for sure. Maybe for me personally, it would be like a top 50 game. But I think if people put in their top 10, like I'm not going to be like, what the fuck? It definitely deserves to be up there. My personal experience, unfortunately, was that the game was so dark. I couldn't see shit. I couldn't see shit even with my fucking console. I was even debating on just playing it on the PC, but I was like, it's gonna take away like my experience. I had to use a guide. I had no choice because I couldn't see anything. So I was like, I need to kind of have a mental idea of where I would go. It really sucked. I will say that sucked. I hated that I had to play it that way because I think at its core, what a story. What a story. Oh my God. One of the best stories in the whole franchise. Not the best story, though. And I'm going to get into that soon, which is surprising because a lot of people consider it to be the best story, but I don't think it's the best story. But it's also a testament to the writing. The Silent Hill team, the writers, oh my God. Like, they should fucking all have PhDs for writing. It's insane. They're geniuses. Every layer of the Silent Hill games is so deeply compact with so much information and just so beautifully told. Really a wonderful game. So I love 2. I love it. But my experience personally was fucking terrible. I could barely fucking see anything. I could barely enjoy the goddamn game unless I was in like a well lit area. The second level is where they have you in a hotel. Dude, I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see anything. I had to walk up to the walls. I had to put my brightness all the way up, and it didn't do anything. I had to play in the dark. It was terrible. I hated it. Silent Hill 1 I didn't have that issue with, but I think the PlayStation 2 for whatever reason with that game it just didn't, and there was no way to put up the brightness at all. Like I just couldn't do anything. It just looked permanently dark. Silent Hill 3 is the perfect Silent Hill game in terms of it has everything. Like it perfected the gameplay, which the gameplay was already a little jank for the first 2, but it perfected it. Perfected it. Has a great story. I recently watched a video of some guy covering it, and it was really cool. Uh, yeah, I would absolutely recommend that if you want to play any Silent Hill game, maybe even starting out with Silent Hill 3 isn't the worst, because it's perfect. It's the most accessible game, and it's a great story, great protagonist, great antagonist, janky as hell in certain ways, and difficult as fuck. That mall level gives me fucking nightmares. Oh my God, it was so long. It was so terribly difficult. Oh, dude, I never want to fucking play that game again just for that reason alone, but it's phenomenal. So now let me talk about a very special one, kind of in the realm of Deadly Premonition. But this one doesn't have like a funny story or anything. Silent Hill 4 is one of the most controversial games because they went completely in a different direction in terms of their gameplay. They made it more of a grind fest for whatever fucking reason, and there was first person aspects to it. So there was so much that for me this game pissed me the fucking hell off because There were so many portions that were made difficult because the gameplay was fucking garbage. Okay? Fucking garbage. The worst gameplay I've ever played in my entire life. Granted, even with that being said, it's one of the greatest games I've ever played. And I was shocked. I was like, how the fuck am I liking this one more than 2? How the fuck am I liking this one more than 3? The story is really, really great. It's got so much levels to it. There's so much engagement with you as a player with that game. The different components are really intriguing. I love when he's in the room. Oh man, it's just the ending is so weird, but it's so satisfying to kill that motherfucker because of how shitty the gameplay is. Like, this would be a game that I would be shocked if anybody had it in the top 10, but I honestly feel like it's my second favorite Silent Hill game. Just because of that story. I remember being blown away by the story. I was like, wow. Even when you guys are trying to make something so unbearably annoying, and I understood that. I fucking watched a documentary or a YouTube video where, yeah, the Silent Hill 4 gameplay was made to be fucking frustrating. Like, of course it fucking was. Of course. Of course. They understood to psychologically manipulate you, to frustrate the living fucking hell out of you, to make you to want to quit and not play the fucking game for the sake of the quality. Isn't that insane? Like, what other game can you even say did that? No other game. It's probably one of the fucking one in the whole history of video games. So, I basically have played I played a little bit of the remake on the Wii. I could not stand the levels where you're running away from the little shitheads. I can't stand it. I was feeling nauseous. I was like, fuck this. Why the fuck did they go in this direction? I was liking where they were going with it in certain ways, but I couldn't stand that, so I didn't fucking play it. I know people love it. Whatever. I still have to play Downpour and the rest of the games subsequently after. I have them all, actually. I just never touched them. I'm not really sure why. I think I just needed a break after 4, which makes a lot of fucking sense. Yeah, because 4 was, oh my gosh, one of the most annoying games I've ever played in my life. Either way. So, play Silent Hill. Do yourself a favor. A lot of people, born after the mid 2000s, probably a lot of them have not played it. I know I didn't. A lot of people consider it to be goated. Probably play it on the PC or play it on the newer consoles. But I will say that the older ones have a charm, and it's still playable. Just 2 I would avoid playing just because of the fucking darkness. I don't know what the fuck to say about that. It was hopefully not everybody has to deal with it, but from what I saw online when I was looking to find an answer, people were dealing with that as well. Okay, so we're up to the number 1. I will say that this has been cool. I really like going through all these. I can't believe I spent 3.5 hours so far. Maybe I'm about to reach 4 of my day. But I think that this was something really cool. A nice way to look down memory lane. I think if I ever decide to revisit this or do this again, I'm going to probably go a lot slower because this was exhausting. And to kind of go through every single game, I feel like some games I left out a lot, even personal experiences or anything like that, that could have enriched a little bit of the reason why it is where it is. I want you to understand, though, whoever's watching, like, all these games to some degree have had an impact on me, and I don't play video games as often anymore. That's why I haven't been able to beat Silent Hill 2, the remaster, for the whole year. I've just been so busy, and as you get older, you don't really have the time to revisit or even make time for stuff like this. Like, making time for this is something different just because it's like a little bit of a personal project of mine. But, making time for video games feels odd. You have a relationship, you want to talk with your partner, you can't really play. Or you want to go out, obviously you won't have time for video games. I know people that are my age that still play a lot, but I think that, like, where I am in life, it doesn't resonate as much with me. But I can still definitely see the impact and the influence and the love that I've had for video games. How much comfort it gave me when I was a kid not being able to get the attention of, my parents, for a lot of reasons. Don't need to go into it. I've learned not to sort of go into that sort of stuff. But video games were always there for me. I got to identify with the characters in them. I got to live through space adventures and zombie apocalypses and post-apocalyptic worlds and survive them, and feel it like I achieved something, feel like I lived a life through another character. It's so fascinating what video games do, and I'm never gonna forget that. I don't know if I'll ever be able to play most of these games again, or even find the time to want to play them, or even find the time to play video games in general. I hope to make the time, I definitely do, but a lot of life as you sort of go on, you have new ideas and you find new loves. Things like this might take a little bit of a backseat. So if that time comes, I would recommend that you just follow that. It's okay. I know that video games can be extremely comforting and a great way to escape, but I think it's best to find ways to live your life and to actually feel like a person. I think it's good to develop yourself and to feel like you're the main character. You know, that's what I've been trying to do for a long time, and still kind of at the beginning levels of my own big adventure. I think this game, number one, a lot of people I think would agree with this one. I know that as time has gone on, this game franchise has not had a game in years, and I think it's almost going to come up to 10 years soon, which is so shocking for me. No pun intended. Um, yeah, it's one of those games that its influence is seen in so many different ways, but yet it's also a forgotten game where it's like, why? I'm sometimes always very surprised. I was going to say shocked again. I'm always surprised that this game didn't spawn so many other different things. It definitely influenced in certain ways, but it isn't the most influential. For me, the reason why it has to be number one is really just from my own reasons. I love this game. This game, I think, is what got me addicted to video games. Uh, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a toss up between this and Halo 3, but this really solidified it for me. And I'm talking about Bioshock, specifically the first one. I think that if I had to say there was a ranking, it would be like Bioshock 1, Infinite, Bioshock Infinite, and then Bioshock 2, which I think Bioshock 2 is still fantastic, has an amazing multiplayer. If you guys were never able to play that, I'm sorry. It's a lot of fun. So, and I'll work to Bioshock 1. Infinite has an amazing story, amazing gameplay. It changed up the formula in a big way, and it still really panned out, and I loved it, and I love everything about that game. And if I had to put that on my list, that would also be like a top 25 game for sure. Bioshock 1, though, is number one because it like changed my life. Like, I don't know if I would have been as expansive in my thinking and in my acceptance of something different without this game. It was so different. Like, I never played anything like this before. I never played in such a beautiful world. I never was exposed to treachery and betrayal and just the worst of humankind all being showcased into this game. It was really a good reflection of society and what people are really like, all being driven by this fantastic antagonist. And I mean, dude, I still remember to this day being completely shocked, no pun intended again, when Atlas was, fuck, I forget his name. I have to look this up. So I was correct, it's Atlas. To find out that he's manipulating you throughout the whole game is, that would you kindly scene. I think that's one of the greatest moments in any story ever. I think that's the most shocking. It's like up there with, Joel dying and And in Silent Hill 2, finding out that this motherfucker killed his wife. It's just amongst the greatest moments in video game history. And I still remember being shocked. I was like, no fucking way, dude. As a young teenager, man, it's funny, like the more it means to me, the less I can say, because I think it's just all feeling, it's just all emotion, it's all heart, and this game just it captures my heart entirely. I love BioShock. I wish that the show had happened. I wish that they made a movie. I wish that they continued the franchise. I feel like as the years have gone on, like, when it comes to some of these games in the top five, BioShock has always been up there, Halo 3, ever since I played Dark Souls, it's been up there, Fallout and Skyrim. These were like definitive games, like Mass Effect, Modern Warfare, and Fable. I'd say like these were like the top 10 that for me like were untouchable. And I would sometimes like go around with some of these other ones, like maybe, even Left 4 Dead would come in, or oh, Skyrim might be my number three, or like Dark Souls might be my number two. But dude, consistently, it has always stayed BioShock being my number one. BioShock has always been the game that meant the most to me. It meant the world to me. I think it's the most creative game. It's the most creative story. It's the most it perfectly encapsulates how the medium of video games, right? Like it captures what a medium like this can do. It can really get you so involved with the character, like the protagonist, Jack. You can be so involved with the character. You could feel like you're that person. And the moments in which the video game can I was gonna say shock again, can like traumatize you or get you so involved that you're like literally left speechless. I think that's a testament to what video games can do. They're not only an escape, but they're also a way to connect with the characters, just like most other forms of media are. Just like reading a book, you identify with the character, and then you absolutely fall in love with the story for that reason or for other reasons. And I think the same can be said here. You fall in love with this character. You fall in love with the world. Dude, the world of Rapture is one of one. One of one. I can't even tell you one that comes close to me personally looking as beautiful. The whole fucking map, the entire game is underwater. It looks beautiful. It's beautiful, dude. Breathtaking. I played it again years later when they came out with it. I fucking beat it without dying. I did it on the most difficulty setting. I did everything. I did everything with BioShock and BioShock 2 and BioShock Infinite. And I played the DLCs, which I think only BioShock Infinite had DLC, which that was also pretty great too. Yeah, I have nothing else to say. Uh, this has been my list. This was exhausting. I think I might upload it. I don't know if I should do once a day. I might do once a day. Yeah. These were extremely long. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I sometimes ramble and I know I sometimes am not concise enough, maybe. I'm still trying to learn how to make content, so I kind of freeball a lot of this without editing. I know in the future I definitely want to edit and like go through my videos and make it a lot more polished. I definitely want to get a new camera and a mic, so because I've heard how I sound and I'm like, geez, it's not the most appealing, but I hope that the substance of what I'm saying is still enough to, resonate with some people. And yeah, I hope you guys related to some of the games that I talked about. Um, yeah, I guess I have nothing else to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a really nice experience. I hope you guys have a good one.